Hi everyone, this is Diogo again, and I'm here to tell you about the third lesson of Level 10 Japanese at International House London. It usually happens that just before we start a new big chunk of grammatical rules that we're not familiar with to learn how to express ourselves in new ways, it is common that we do revision of grammar that we've learned so far, and that's exactly what happened in this lesson. So I thought it would be very, very nice, since I told you in the previous videos about how we are now learning to use a new form of the verb, which is the ta form. I thought it would be nice to revise how you make ta form from just a simple verb. So we learn, first of all, the polite form of verbs, which is called the mas form. So we learn how to get the ta form from the mas form, because this is the first one we learn. And so an easy way to make the ta form is actually to look at the sound that you have just before mas. Yeah. The easiest one, which is, you can see it as the regular verbs in Japanese, they all end in an e related sound just before mas. So that could be e, me, be, se, re, doesn't matter, as long as it's e related. So for example, tabemasu, which is to eat. You just remove mas from these verbs and you substitute that for ta. It's very simple. So tabemasu becomes tabeta. Yeah. Now with other sounds, we need to be more careful. So for example, if just before mas, the verb finishes with the sound I, chi, or ri, so that could be machimasu, which is to wait, or kaerimasu, which is to return home. These verbs will become, so machimasu becomes matta. You make a pause and then ta. So matta or kaetta. Yeah? So that's the verb for I, chi, ri. If the verb has a mi, bi, or ni sound before mas, so a common one is to drink, which is nomimasu. So mi just before mas. This becomes nda. Yeah, so nomimasu becomes nonda. If the sound before mas is ki, so for example, arukimasu, which is to walk, that will become ida. Yeah, so you replace mas with ida. So arukimasu becomes aruita. And you sometimes also have verbs with the sound gi. So for example, oyogimasu, which is to swim. That gi will become ida. Okay, so oyogimasu will become oyoida. Okay, so this is the rule for all these sounds. You need to know the sound to get the right ta form. Then there's two verbs missing, what we call the two irregular verbs in Japanese. Yeah, the first one is to do, which is shimasu. Yeah, shimasu, it's quite easy actually. It just becomes shita. And the other one, which is to come, is kimasu. Kimasu is a very irregular verb, but actually with the ta form, it's not complicated. Kimasu simply becomes kita. Yeah. And so now you have all the types of verbs will fit into one of these categories. So you can make a ta form for any verb just by following these simple rules. So looking forward to tell you all about my next lesson. I'm very excited to find out what we're going to learn in the fourth lesson of Level 10 Japanese at International House London. See you next week.